Let's see what happens. Hello. Oh my gosh. Hi. Good day everyone, and welcome back to Adventures with Parker. In today's video, we're continuing with my solo Florida adventures that I did way back in February, and this is going to be the second part of day 3. So if you watched my last video, you'll know that I spent the morning and a good part of the afternoon over at Disney's Hollywood Studios, but this time we are going to be hanging out in Epcot. Now, in addition to riding a lot of my favorites here in the park, such as Living with the Land and Spaceship Earth, I also got to experience part of the setup for the International Flower and Garden Festival, which hadn't officially started at the time of my visit, but they were getting things ready, and I got to do some brand new experiences, such as the Journey of Water inspired by Moana and their brand new nighttime show, Luminous. We are in for a pretty fun and whimsical vlog, so without any further ado, let the Epcot adventures begin. Alrighty, another brand new experience for me doing the Disney Skyliner. I never really had a reason to go on before, so low-key, I'm very excited to be able to try it out. Yeah, it'll be kind of cool because it connects to the hotels, and then from there I can transfer to another one that'll take me directly to Epcot. Okay, this is cool. Coming in on the Skyliner, we can see the building for Ratatouille. It's kind of cool. You very rarely get these behind the scenes looks at the show buildings and stuff like that, so it's kind of cool that the Skyliner gives that to us. We have made it to Epcot, which is, I was gonna say it's a park I really love, but I guess that's true for every park I'm visiting this week. But this park just is so beautiful, and it brings together so many interesting ideas and themes. Of course, we're coming in off the Skyliner, where we had the World Showcase, and they've done a lot of work on the front of the park too, which I haven't seen fully yet. That was still all under construction while I was last time in 2022, so I'm excited to see how that area looks. Oh, and to see the Journey of Water with Moana, that's gonna be cool. But I think the first thing I'm going to do is head over to Soarin, because they have a limited time run of Soarin over California, the original version of the ride. Of course, they updated that several years ago with the Around the World version, which is coming back at the end of the month. So I gotta get my ride on the Over California version while I can. Oh, I love this. We're starting to see the Flower and Garden topiaries pop up. Unfortunately, I missed the Festival of the Arts this year. I think the last day of that event was the day I flew in, so there's no chance I could have seen it, but they are starting to set up for the next festival, which starts in just a few weeks, and it's kind of nice that I get this little sneak peek at all the topiaries and other decorations that are going up around the park. Just did Soarin, which is always such a good time. It is such a pretty and relaxing ride. But as I said earlier, I got to do the Over California version, which is, I don't know, I do love the Around the World version. I think it is visually stunning, and I don't mind the weird transitions, like those GCI effects, but there's something about the Over California version that is just classic, and maybe it's the nostalgia, maybe it's, I don't know, but I'm glad I got to experience it either way. And while we're here in the Land Pavilion, Living with the Land is a walk-on, which is awesome. I love this ride so much. It is actually one of my favorites here. So, we can't not do it today.
Welcome to our living laboratory, where scientists from Epcot and the U.S. Department of Agriculture are exploring innovative ways to produce bountiful harvests now and into the future. The tropics are home to the greatest diversity of plants on the planet. Many of these, like papaya, bananas, cacao, coffee, and rice, are well known around the world. Some, like the water lily, thrive in wet, swampy areas and waterways. All parts of this plant, even the flower petals, are edible. The starchy root of the plant has long been used to make flour for baking. The sustainable system you're using here recycles the water in the tanks. As a result, we're able to save millions of gallons each year. These plants are definitely on their way up. Innovative growing techniques like these increase yields. We're growing these crops using our nutrient film system. This technique precisely controls and recycles water and nutrients. We serve more than 15 tons of produce from our greenhouses in restaurants here at the land every year. And the plants help keep the water clean for the fish. It's another great way to produce more while using less.
Okay, so I guess there's still a few construction roles here in Epcot, but this middle part that we're heading into now is an area of the park that I haven't set foot in since, I don't know, probably 2017 or something like that.
It's like a sunrise warming us up. Been spending all your time lifting me up. All of the things I've been worrying seem to be disappearing now, reminding me what days should be made of. On a good time, I've been chasing butterflies all afternoon. Night drives, cruising on the high life, spending all of my time kicking with you, honey, with you. Ooh, honey, with you. Oh. We're on a coaster, we're on a cloud.
Recording our knowledge on Ken Sydney. There was only one small problem. When we moved, the recorded knowledge stayed behind. For Paris in turn creates better record keeping, plans, designs, and unfortunately actions. But it also brings with it the dawn of great civilization. Turns out there are copies of some of these books in the libraries of the Middle East. They're washed over by Arab and Jewish scholars. In the meantime, here in Europe, monks toil endlessly recording books by hand. And that is about to change. In 1450, Gutenberg invents the movable type printing press. Now knowledge transfers funds. Sharing life's most important moments, faster than ever before.
Hundreds gather today to witness the climbing of the golden spike.
Poised to shape the future of this, our spaceship Earth.
power test.
Energizing for power test.
Alrighty, just got off of Test Track, which used to be one of my favorite rides in the park when I was younger. It's since fallen down in terms of my favorites over the years, but it's still fun. It still is one of the most thrilling rides here at the park other than Cosmic Rewind. But I am so excited for the refurb that they're going to get to this ride, making it more in line with the original World of Motion. I mean, when I fell in love with Test Track, it was with Test Track 1.0, the original more industrial version, which I thought was really cool and really neat. But I think if they kind of did a hybrid between like the classic and the high tech, maybe gave it, I don't know, more of an energy sort of focus. I don't know what they're planning on doing, but I'm really excited to see what they come up with. Because like I said, the actual motion of the ride is good, but this version just relies way too heavily on screens, and they just need more practical effects in there. Well, there is one new attraction that I really want to experience today, and that is the Journey of Water inspired by Moana. So from what I understand, this is a walkthrough attraction, and there's a lot of interactive water elements, and of course a beautiful topiary figure of Te Fiti towards the end. And I really want to see that in person, so I'm excited to check this out. Another really cool thing about this attraction is that it teaches guests about the water cycle. Of course, using Moana's story as a sort of narrative device, but I love how it kind of returns to that form of Epcot being an educational park. Okay, ready? Oh, that is so cool. Okay, so it says to stand on this and wave to it. Let's see what happens. Hello. Oh my gosh. Hi. Oh my gosh, that is so cool. Let's try that again. Hello. Whoa. Okay, so Journey of Water was so cute. I think it's a great addition to Epcot. The nice thing is that you can just walk through it at your own pace. So there's no line, like, you know, like assuming it's not too backed up. But yeah, it has some pretty cool effects. Now, not all of the interactive things were working, but it was still nice. Like, it didn't bother me personally. But, you know, if you have kids, they might want to stick around and like play around with the effects. But yeah, it was beautiful. And I'm glad I waited to do it at night because I loved how they illuminated a lot of the water effects, and Te Fiti looked absolutely gorgeous. So that was just great. Like, it's like one of those attractions where like it's obviously not meant to be an e-ticket, but not everything has to be an e-ticket to be wonderful and to be effective.
Dreamer! Why don't you drop by for a little bite?
Being able to get up close and personal with the fishes here it's fun. Even as a grown-up, like, it never gets old for me. So we are an hour away from park closing, which means that given how long the lines are right now, I won't have time for Frozen Ever After, which is okay. I've done it a few times. I don't mind missing it out on this trip. But I think what I might do is head over to the Imagination Pavilion, ride Journey into Imagination, see our old pal Figment, because I believe that ride is more or less a walk-on right now. And then I really haven't spent that much time in the World Showcase, so I might do a little lap, maybe find myself a drink, and try to claim a spot for Luminous, the park's new nighttime show. Last time I was here, they had Harmonious, which is a show that I really liked, especially for the musical aspect of it. But of course, the barges were a bit of an issue. I didn't like seeing the barges out on the lake all day. And although I did see the barges earlier when I was kind of over by World Showcase, I think they just brought those out because it was towards the end of the day. If I was here in the morning, I think those are tucked away backstage. But I'm really excited to see the new show. I have completely avoided spoilers. Like, I don't even know what it's about, like what the overall theme is. So it's going to be a complete surprise for me, which is kind of rare. And I'm excited to experience that firsthand.
It's not about listening with your ears, it's about listening with your imagination. Upside down, now you're talking. With just a spark of inspiration, I've made my house an innovation. Imagination really comes around. Things down tied up and upside down.
One little spark of inspiration is at the heart of all creation, right at the start of everything that's new. One little spark lights up all you.
Alrighty, one final treat to finish off my night. This is the Blackberry Sake Slushy, which is great because I'm going to be enjoying this while I wait for Luminous to start, which should be in just 30 minutes. Luminous, the Symphony of Us. was such a beautiful show. And like I said earlier, I was someone who really loved Harmonious, but they took everything that was good about Harmonious, kept that, made it better, threw out all the bad. So, I mean, I think this was the Epcot show that they needed to make, and they nailed it. I loved this whole message of like coming together from all of, not only all of our different nations, but all of our different life experiences, all of our different, you know, like we all bring so much to the world, and this was a beautiful celebration of that. Of course, I loved the music. I loved how they kind of did a spin on some Disney tunes, did some mashups of a few, did a few in different languages. Like I said, like that's something they did with Harmonious, so I loved how they kept that going. And yeah, I think it beautifully fit in with the theme of Epcot, not only on the multicultural level, but on the ideas of how they touched upon, you know, you go through different stages in life, birth, finding love, grief, like they just touched on all those points. I definitely got misty-eyed at a few points, so if it's not already obvious, Luminous got my stamp of approval. And that concludes my first day here at Walt Disney World. Overall, it was a good day. I mean, there's some parts of Hollywood Studios that were a little bit stressful, especially when I had those hiccups with Genie Plus. But hey, we made it work. And I mean, hey, I still got to do everything I wanted to do over there, including Rise of the Resistance, which made up for everything that happened earlier. And then finishing off the day here at Epcot, I think that was a good move on my part. I mean, I got to do most of the major rides here at the front half of the park. The only one that I kind of wish I would have gotten on was Frozen Ever After. But again, like I said earlier, I've done that one before, so it's not a huge loss. My only worry now is because I wasn't able to get any virtual queues today, am I gonna have to choose between Cosmic Rewind and Tron? Because I'm not sure if I can do both in the same day. I'm gonna try my best, but I don't know. I'm not sure which one I would pick to prioritize if it came down to that. Maybe Cosmic Rewind, I don't know. We'll figure that out tomorrow. So I might be back here again. Otherwise, tomorrow's going to be focused just on Animal Kingdom and Magic Kingdom. Overall, I can't complain. Like, it is so good to be back. And I mean, I wasn't even supposed to do any Disney days, period. Like, the whole purpose of my trip was to focus on Universal. But I mean, how can I come all the way to Florida and not do a few days at Disney? So I'm glad I was able to squeeze those in. I wish I had a couple more days, because already I'm feeling like, oh, I missed that one this time. I might not be able to do this, and this. So it's a little stressful, but I mean, I run on chaos. I'm used to this kind of stuff. And I mean, I don't stay away from this place for too long. So there's always a next time for things that I don't end up doing. But hey, there's a whole other day in front of us. So the adventures will continue. Indeed, they will. So if you don't want to miss that or any of my other future adventures from theme parks, attractions, and beyond, you might want to consider becoming a subscriber. You can also find me on social media. I'm at ADV Parker on Instagram, Threads, and Twitter, and at Adventures with Parker on Facebook and TikTok. As with every video, I need to give a big shout out to my Patreon supporters for going above and beyond in supporting this channel and helping me to grow and improve it and just make it the best that it can be. And if you're interested in supporting the channel with a monthly donation in exchange for some sweet perks and bonus content, head on over to patreon.com/ADVParker to learn more. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, the adventures are calling. Bye! Today we are continuing with my solo Florida adventure trip vlogs. That was a mouthful. That went bleh.